So Kyle has just said that he's used to film supermodels. That's quite a bit of an offensive word, Kyle. Right, anyways, we're going to be talking about the review. I'm joined by Will. We're just going to be wrapping up, so let's crack on with it. Now, the first thing is we'll talk about the lineups in a moment because that was a surprise, but there is a source from, I think it's the Mail, that have said that Jamaal Lascelles refused to play as a right centre-back in this wing-back system that Rafa was planning on the weekend. If that is true, it just shows you that you're not, it doesn't matter who you are, I'll drop you.
Exactly. I think if it was that, then fair enough that he gets dropped, because you have to believe in the manager, and the manager has the final say on the word. And to have a statement to drop your captain is a big statement to sound out to the rest of the squad, that you dropped Lascelles, and also Shelby didn't feature as well. I
think the Shelby one's, from what I'm gathering, he's been playing in pain. I don't think that one will grab the headlines as what Jamaal Lascelles will in tomorrow's newspapers, but that was the big thing, and hopefully that doesn't rumble on. Hopefully that is resolved, and it's, look, your captain, you're out of order, we'll drop you, forget about it, move on. Let's just hope it doesn't rumble on. Now the lineups again, that blew me when I seen that was a wing back system. Fernandez and Fabian Schär come in straight away, and Murphy and Rondon. I'm happy about Rondon, don't get me wrong, but that was like a. Now we've been so used to Rafa having the usual 7 or 8 players in the 11 that he's always, and he's just totally bombshelled everyone, hasn't he?
Sorry, I was just distracted by about to get run over by a car. It was a surprise when I saw it. I was a bit like, okay, this will be interesting, but
negative, wasn't it?
It was incredibly negative, and we've done it before, which means it wasn't so much a surprise. I was more shocked by the fact there was no Shelby and there were no Lascelles, kind of out of nowhere. We didn't have any hint about anything going on at all. So setting up with a wing-back system is something we've done, but whether we want to do that at home against Chelsea, who... Chelsea were great today, don't get me wrong, and we'll get onto that, but against Arsenal, and that we showed today, despite how negative we were, we still got a goal. They were there to be got at, and we didn't really go forward at all, and Murphy and Richie on the wings really struggled to get anything going forward, and Rondon was so isolated up top. It was too negative for me.
You've got to feel sorry for Rondon, because there was times where he was holding the ball up and there wasn't a man for 20 yards, and it was negative, and I get why Rafa went like that, but as Will just said, they conceded. Arsenal scored 2 past them, and this Arsenal side is very much what's the word I'm looking for?
Work in progress.
There you go, thank you very much, because otherwise I would have struggled there. So they are getting David Luiz and Rudiger, yes, they're great on the ball and all that, and fancy and all that, I know he hit the bar, but it's what if, and we could have went for it. And we're seeing, yes and no, they didn't really have much to play for, and they weren't really playing under Conte last game of the season, but I agree. I think we could have got at them. That leaves me nice on the match. So we know that Chelsea dominated. They deserved the win. We know that. We're not going to dispute that. And we were very poor. And what was he trying to do? Was he trying to I know he's trying to play for a point, don't get me wrong, but is he trying to get a point, nick it, because that point might keep us up, that goal difference might keep up? Is he... Because he got heavily criticised against Man City in Christmas, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a very difficult one, because we deserved to lose the game by the way that we played, but the way we lost it, I thought we were incredibly unlucky with both the goals. So you can come away disappointed also by the fact that we scored as well. You know, it makes it seem a bit more deflated because it didn't look like we were going to. The thing is that if we had got a point against Man City, there would not have been anywhere near as many critics as there were. And also, when you look at how some teams got beat by Man City last season, like I think Stoke conceded 10 in total. You saw Watford concede 6 in one game. You know, goal difference, it could have, yeah. And goal difference is worth a point. I think when we went down under McLaren and Benitez, goal difference actually proved to be quite a big thing, because Sunderland's was a lot better. So I can see why he's doing it, but I didn't think we were going to get enormously battered by Chelsea. Like they did struggle. They did struggle to get a breakthrough, yeah. But I mean, I was watching the game with Rob, and we were just thinking. I was sitting there just thinking, we're still going to lose this. They will get through eventually, and you know, it was just unlucky in the way that they did.
Now, Rafa last week said he didn't want to talk about referees. Guess what's coming? Let's quickly pop over to Rafa.
No, I'm not happy with the penalty, and maybe the decision you have to analyze carefully, because I think he touched the ball, but I will not complain too much about that. I'm more concerned about the second goal. That was a very light, soft foul, and after we have to be more concentrated for the second goal.
Because you only have 19% possession, that's an incredibly low amount for a home team.
I remember a long time ago, I think, I don't know if it was Guardiola in Barcelona, but they play against Celtic and then they have 80% against 20% and they lost 2-0. So possession now is just for the TV, for the stats, means nothing. Means nothing if you create 5 chances. Yesterday, Wolves against Manchester City was an amazing game and they have 71% of possession. So possession means nothing now. You have to create chances, you have to be solid, and you have to do what you have to do to maximize what you have. So if I'm telling you now that you have to write with a piece of paper and a pen, you would say, no, I have a computer. That's it.
So, shock horror, Rafa's keeping his mouth very quiet about it. Look, you've seen the benefit of a replay. Was that a penalty?
No. It wasn't. It was.
Why do you think Paul Tierney's went and gone and give it?
Well, I think what's happened is that you've seen Charles go from behind, tackle from behind. Alonso's gone down, and probably think he takes the man, then he takes the ball. But he took the ball before he touched Alonso, so it wasn't a penalty by the rule of the book. But you know, I do sympathise with referees a lot sometimes because you can't see it and things happen so fast and you've got to make a decision like that. I mean, when I saw on the TV, when I saw Alonso go down and Charles going from behind, I said penalty. It was only from a benefit of a replay that I saw that. So you can talk about VAR all you want. But
nicely on. Obviously, funny enough, this is ironic because we had all the questions set up for the fan cams, which was, should VAR be implemented? And ironically, if VAR was in place, Newcastle would have got a point at least, maybe, who knows, maybe all 3, the way the game was going out. But should it be right here, right now? Because this is the Premier League, this is the best league in the world, we have the money.
I think it should. I think in the world, it does receive a lot of critics, mainly for how it's used. I think it's
slow.
It is slow, but when you see it in tennis, when you see it in rugby, are probably the 2 best examples, and cricket as well. It works quite well because it's quite instant. Like, they have it on screens and they show it. I mean, there's a lot of things about showing stuff on screens in the Premier League, about showing controversial decisions. But
that's why we love football.
Exactly. And you know, people say it can remove from the drama, but frankly, I would rather have the right decisions. Yeah. And in the World Cup, it proved that it was really worthy of being used. So I think, if not this season, next season, because these things can decide titles. I think if you remember, like years ago when Tiote's goal against Man City was disallowed, if we'd drawn that game, City wouldn't have won the Premier League. Liverpool would have won it by if you deduct the 2 points that they got from winning the game rather than drawing. So yeah, I think right decisions. Everyone
says it equals itself out, but does it really? Now, I'm not going to bring up the league table. Let's not forget about that. It's too early in the season, really. Yeah. We've got Forest in midweek. Obviously, we're not going to play 5 at the back. We know that. Are we expecting some of the kids maybe to come in?
I'd like to see Longstaff. I really would like to see Longstaff, considering that we don't have a number 10, to see someone maybe get a chance. If Longstaff plays really well against Forest, then I think if he plays.
Sterry should as well.
Sterry as well, because I was not convinced by Manquillo, and I was really worried for this game if Manquillo would, if that was what he was like against Josh Murphy, imagine Eden Hazard. So I would like to see Sterry in there, because they're the 2 main gaps that we've got in the squad. Is we don't have 4 full-backs and we don't have another number 10, so if those 2 can come in and fill that space, that would be ideal.
So we're at the Forest game as well, so keep an eye out for that. What is the Forest, we're at the City game, but I think what is important, if we can win Forest, we've actually got a win on the books, and that could be, who knows, going into the confidence with Man City on Saturday night. We can dream. Let us know what you lot think of today. Bye bye.